Hello friends, it's that time of year again. It's pickling time. And today I'm going to be pickling one of the true wonders of nature, the Jersualem artichoke. Knobbly, crunchy, nutty, delicious. So I've got those. They have been soaking in some brine, salt water for about a week now, just to let some of the gases release. Because, as you may or may not know, Jersualem artichokes are probably the fartiest vegetable in existence. Eat them raw or cooked and you will be farting like a docker for days afterwards. It's marvellous. But not everyone's into that, so you might want to preserve them by pickling them, having allowed some of the gases to release and time to do its thing. Remove all the fartiness from the artichoke, or most of it, and eat them once they're pickled. So that's what I'm doing. So we've got the Jersualem artichokes, we've got the vinegar going, and that's vinegar with some turmeric and pickling spice, and I'm going to put a whole fresh chilli in the bottom as well, just to let the flavours of that absorb and diffuse through the air. And I've got my jar sterilising in the oven. That's been in boiling water for about 10 minutes or so. Now I'm just letting it dry off completely, and then I'll be able to put the artichokes and the pickling vinegar in there and seal. What you want to do with your pickling spice is just bring it to the boil ever so slightly, and just at the moment that it boils, turn the heat off, and that's the temperature you want. You don't want it to boil away, you don't want to lose any of those delicious flavours. You just want it nice and hot. Remember, it's going to go straight into the jar, so you don't want the glass to be cracking. So once you've taken that out of the oven, which I will do shortly, you leave it to cool for a minute or so. Then you start to add the vinegar and your ingredients. This is recycled vinegar, by the way. After I've pickled things, once the jar's empty, I try and keep most of the vinegar. Strain it off a little bit if there's too much sediment deposited in the bottom, but it's good to use and reuse. You don't want to be wasting any of it, and you don't need to buy it brand new. It's going to have preserved the flavours from previous generations of pickle, if you like, and that can only be a good thing for your taste buds and the human race as a whole. So this is a second or third generation vinegar now. Rich, flavourful, wise, aged. And there we have it, friends. A half-gallon jar of pickled Jersualem artichokes. Have you ever seen anything so beautiful in your life? If you look at the bottom, there's the fresh red chilli I put in there to diffuse. And I even added a bay leaf. Personally, I think bay leaves are overrated, but there you go. It's in there anyway. And I do have a confession to make. The original jar that you saw a few minutes ago cracked. Now, that does happen sometimes. It's just an occupational hazard of pickling. But it doesn't matter. A, because we're on a dying planet, hurtling through space in a meaningless universe, and B, because I can make a nice terrarium out of that. But just look at that. Magnificent.